Google just shipped a feature in Chrome that lets AI agents interact with any website through structured tool calls. No screen scraping, no fake mouse clicks, no brittle automation scripts. It's called WebMCP. It's a W3C standard co-developed with Microsoft, and it landed in Chrome 146 Canary this month. The entire web is about to get a second interface layer, one built for machines instead of humans. That alone would be enough for today. But there's also a Y Combinator-backed startup run by a married couple that's clearing out entire customer support departments and replacing them with AI agents. 2 founders, 6 employees, seed funding from the founders of Dropbox, Slack, and Replit. Let's get into it. On February 10, 2026, the W3C published a draft community group report for something called WebMCP, the Web Model Context Protocol. Shortly after, Google shipped it behind a feature flag in Chrome 146 Canary, making it the first browser to offer native support. The standard was developed by engineers at Google and Microsoft within the W3C's Web Machine Learning Community Group, and it introduces a browser-native API called navigator.modelContext. So what does it actually do? Right now, when an AI agent needs to interact with a website, say booking a flight or filling out a form, it has 2 bad options. Option 1, take constant screenshots and try to visually parse what's on the screen. Option 2, scrape the raw HTML DOM and hope the website doesn't change its layout next week. Both approaches are slow, expensive, and fragile. If a site moves a button or renames a CSS class, the agent breaks. WebMCP solves this by letting websites expose their functionality as structured, callable tools directly to AI agents running in the browser. It provides 2 complementary APIs. The declarative API lets developers turn existing HTML forms into agent callable tools by adding a few HTML attributes: tool name, tool description, tool param description, minimal code changes. The imperative API handles more complex interactions through JavaScript. Developers define tool schemas using a register tool function, something like search products with query and filter parameters, complete with type definitions, conceptually similar to the tool schemas you'd send to OpenAI or Anthropic's API, but running entirely client-side. Google engineer Kushal Sagar described the goal plainly. WebMCP aims to become the USB-C of AI agent interactions with the web. One standardized interface that any agent can plug into, regardless of the underlying model. Security is built in, same origin policy, HTTPS required, CSP compliance, and a human-in-the-loop design that requires user confirmation for sensitive operations. Read-only tools can bypass that confirmation for simple queries. For the past 2 years, the agentic AI industry has been held back by one embarrassing bottleneck. Agents are terrible at using websites. Entire companies, playwright automation wrappers, browser use frameworks, screenshot-to-action pipelines, exist solely to paper over this problem. WebMCP doesn't patch the problem. It removes the problem category entirely. Think about what happened with search engines. Websites eventually had to make their content machine-readable for crawlers. Sitemaps, structured data, meta tags. That wasn't optional. If you wanted to exist on the internet, you optimized for Google's bots. WebMCP is the same inflection point for AI agents. Every website is heading toward 2 layers, a visual layer for human eyes and a structured tool layer for agents. Companies that expose their functionality as WebMCP tools will be the ones AI agents can actually use. Companies that don't will become invisible to the agentic web. This has massive implications for SaaS products, e-commerce, and any business with a web interface. Product teams need to start thinking about agent readiness the same way they thought about mobile readiness in 2012. And because this is a W3C standard with both Google and Microsoft behind it, this isn't a proprietary experiment. It's infrastructure. Right now, WebMCP is behind a feature flag in Chrome Canary only. Edge support is expected given Microsoft co-authored the spec, but Firefox and Safari haven't signaled plans yet. The specification is transitioning from community incubation to a formal W3C draft. Google I/O and Google Cloud Next later this year are the likely venues for broader rollout announcements. The big open question is tool discovery. Right now, an agent can't know what tools a site offers without visiting it first. A proposed solution is manifest-based discovery, something like a well-known /WebMCP file. Watch for that. So Google is building the infrastructure for AI agents to interact with websites natively. But what happens when you take that kind of AI capability and point it at an entire business function? Not just a web page but a whole department. That's exactly what a small startup out of Y Combinator is doing right now with customer support. And the results are hard to ignore. Marie Schneegens and Michael Fester are a married couple who met in Paris over a decade ago. They each built separate companies first. Schneegens co-founded Workwell, a corporate intranet company, and Fester founded Snips, which built local-first voice assistants for smart devices. Snips was acquired by Sonos in 2019. After that, they moved to the US together with a plan to build a company as a team. The company they built is called 14AI, and it just raised a $3 million seed round led by Y Combinator with participation from General Catalyst, Base Case Capital, SV Angel and angel investments from the founders of Dropbox, Slack, Replit and Vercel. That's a remarkably dense cap table for a seed round. 14AI is not a SaaS tool. Schneegens is specific about this distinction. She calls it an AI-native customer service agency. They don't sell software to support teams. They replace support teams. As Schneegens put it, for customers, operating software is hard, especially for customer service. So 14AI combines software and services into a single package. You hand them your support channels, email, chat, SMS, social media, voice, and their AI agents handle the tickets. Their first major client was a men's health supplement company that had a team of customer service agents in the Philippines, struggling to clear their ticket backlog. Schneegens says they took over on a Thursday morning, and by Thursday afternoon, they had cleared tickets across every channel. That's not a week-long onboarding. That's same-day operational replacement. The company currently has 6 people. All of them are AI engineers, and they take turns being available around the clock for their clients. With the new funding, they plan to grow headcount over the next 6 months, hiring more AI engineers, not support agents. The broader trend they're riding: startups shrinking customer support teams from 15 people down to 3, while improving satisfaction scores by 12%. The customer support outsourcing industry, BPO, is a multi-billion-dollar sector that employs millions of people globally, particularly in the Philippines, India, and Latin America. Investors and corporate leaders have already been ringing alarm bells about what AI means for this workforce. 14AI is a concrete example of what that disruption looks like at the ground level. 6 AI engineers replacing what used to require dozens of human agents across multiple time zones. But the more interesting signal here is the business model. They're not licensing software. They're selling outcomes, tickets resolved, channels managed, satisfaction maintained. This is the AI-native agency model that Y Combinator explicitly called out in its 2026 requests for startups. Build AI that does the job, not AI that helps someone do the job. The funding roster tells you how seriously the Valley is taking this pattern. When the founders of Dropbox, Slack, Replit and Vercel all write checks into your seed round, the thesis is clear, and the 12% improvement in satisfaction scores matters. This isn't a cost-cutting play that degrades the customer experience. It's a cost-cutting play that improves it. That changes the calculus for every startup founder evaluating whether to hire a support team or contract an AI agency. 14AI is currently focused on startups, which makes sense. Smaller companies can make faster switching decisions. The question is whether this model scales to mid-market and enterprise, where support operations are more complex and compliance requirements are heavier. Competing in this space are well-funded startups like Decagon, Parlo and Sierra, which have collectively raised hundreds of millions. 14AI quote, "This agency model is different from those SaaS approaches, and the next 12 months will show which model wins. Watch for whether they expand beyond customer support into other back-office functions. The web is getting a machine-readable layer, and entire business functions are getting replaced by 6-person teams with AI. The question worth sitting with: if your product isn't agent-ready, and your operations aren't AI-native, how long before someone who takes your position? If you want to stay on top of this stuff, we cover AI and tech news here every day. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See you in the next one.